Before you found your business, follow those 3 steps plan. In the past 12 years, I've been building businesses as a business founder, and I figured out that its success all comes down to these 3 steps. I promise that after this video, you will be able to found your business the right way and to make it as you want it to be. The way that I'm going to do it, I'm going to give you the stories, the lessons, and then I'm going to give you a secret of mine. So I started really getting into this business founding world when I was at the age of 7, 8, 9. I was selling water in the market. That's what I was doing. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what actually I was doing. So I had the privilege to grow up in a neighborhood where a lot of neighborhoods were rich. So when you have rich parents, their kids have a different mindset than, let's say, if I grew up in another neighborhood. So that made me not only to learn, but also to replicate and do with them what they do. And one of them is building businesses. As an example, what I just told you. At the age of 7, this was a business venture of its own. Selling water to strangers in the market that wants to buy sheeps in the middle of the summer, midday. Of course they're gonna buy. Of course it's a brilliant idea. And the thing is, I was selling it with whatever price. That not only gave me the hang of it, that I loved making money, but also that gave me an experience to keep going when I was 9, 10, 12, when I was selling to my friends, my neighborhoods, fireworks, whatever works. So if there's a game we're playing, I'm going to figure out a way to make money out of that. So if they're buying from the store, I'm going to go for the store, or I'm going to earn my way, or I'm going to go to buy from cheaper store and resell that. Few years later, I found out that, well, I'm going to do something big. Okay? And I want to, instead of doing it in my neighborhood, I'm going to do it now in the city. So I buy bracelets on Valentine's Day and then make those few dollars. And that's the way that I bought my first bike. I still have it till this day, actually. So that's how I did it. I was selling headbands, okay? And the thing is, I was looking for stuff that had no competition. Nobody was selling cheap price because that's what I could buy, and just do whatever I have to do to earn whatever it is. And that's what I was doing. So I did that and I just loved the hang of it because not only I was earning money, which is a great feeling because that's what I loved since a young age, and not only I was building, which is also a huge thing, but also I was gaining the experience. At the age of 14, I read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it will all make sense in a second. And now I'm reading the other books, Think and Grow Rich, Richest Man in Babylon, Persuasions, That 4-Hour Workweek, all of these, even $100 million offers, $100 million leads by Alex Hormozi. All of this combines gives only a blueprint. So if there's only one thing that I learned from founding businesses that I found that failed and that didn't fail, is this one thing, is that you have to follow a plan and you have to trust the process. About 9 months ago, I started this project. It's a service. So this service, the idea of it was my problem that I had in college. So I said, now I'm going to make it public and I'm going to fix my problem that I had, but I'm going to fix it for everyone in exchange for money. For first, I didn't ask for something crazy money, okay? I asked for $1. So I'm going to give me $1. I'm going to give you this service. And it was taking me 3 hours, 4 hours just to gain that $1. Everyone's told me that you're insane, to the point that even, look, wow, this is crazy. There is one thing that I remember when I started my service that really stuck with me, is that in the comments, people were criticizing me as an entrepreneur, as a bad entrepreneur. They were telling me that the price you're putting is underpriced. It will not pay anything. Not the skill, not the electricity bills, not the internet connection, nothing. Let alone your effort, your skills, whatever. But I accepted that as criticism, and I said, you know what? Cool, but I'm gonna ignore that for now. These things, not everyone has the actual courage to do it. And the reason why I'm saying this, because I partnered up with my friends and they said, we're going to make a service where I make my personalized specified knowledge, mix it and partner with your specified knowledge. We make a business. And we had all of these business plans, we had these ideas, etc. But the thing is, when I worked with these people, my friends, they're awesome friends, but they're not businessmen. Especially like one or two that I'm speaking about, they don't know business. They're more in college, educational system stuff. So I realized that they don't have the hang of it. They don't have the knowledge and they don't have the breadth, if you know what I mean. So for me, that phase of service was crucial. I have to get through no matter what. And obviously I'm not going to make money in the first month. Obviously I'm not going to make money with my first client. But momentum always takes place. So look, whether you believe that this is like what should happen or you don't believe that this is what should happen, you have to comprehend that this is the truth. And this is what happened. But if there is one thing that I learned from the entire experience of me building a service, is the data that I collected. I think the most important thing is actually data, because data is a literal representation that you can track, measure, you can sort, whatever it is, and most importantly, analyze digitally, on paper, preferably digitally, and you can make the best decisions out of. I'm going to give you an example. If something that I did when I was young, at the age of 9 or 8 years old, just one thing, I know I will make 10 times, 20 times more. If every time I went and I sold one water, I go back and I write down or I put a spreadsheet better, what did I do to make that sale? And what are the sales that I didn't succeed? Who are the people that paid me more? Who are the people that didn't pay me? Who are the people that paid me nothing or not as much as the other ones? Write everything down. What time of the day, what I was wearing, what type of water, what type of bottle. I'm pretty sure that just by me putting the volume, filling the data, at some point I'll be able to just look at the data, analyze it, make great decisions to realize, well, people who comes from this side usually pays more, because apparently the people that comes from this side, they're coming from a parking lot, which means they have money to pay and they can pay me. In comparison to the people that comes from here that they usually come by foot. Makes sense. Okay, it looks like the people from 40 to 50 pay me way more than the people that are from 20 to 30. Sure. It looks like when I hold a bottle of water that is 5 liters, I get more customers than when I use 2 liters of water. Great. Now what I have to do, be at this side, go to people from 40 to 50 and hold 5 liters bottle. Then repeat the same thing again. Put in volume. Then I'm like, okay, now I can analyze and look at what actually worked. So I realized that not only the people that came from the parking lot, but also, let's say, the people that came with their families from the parking lot. Not only that it was holding 5 liter bottle, but it was holding 5 liter bottle and also a cup. And not only people from 40 to 50, but I don't know, something else. It's like the people that from 40 to 50 and they have a beard on. I'm just putting random stuff. The point is, the data is what makes my actions better. And it's not only that I'm putting volume like a dumbass. I'm literally putting volume. It's like working hard and smart. And the thing is, you can't get what you want with just working smart, trying to find a hack in the system. And what people do, they usually get stuck in this analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis is said to people who analyze, and they just analyze, and they forgot the most important thing, which is do. People say do, have, be. Do is the biggest thing. Then you have, be, whatever. Do. And that's why when I said you have to do volume. You analyze, you adjust, you collect the data, analyze, you make decisions. Volume. You do this volume. You repeat it. 1, 2, 3. Once it goes down, not only the process will be better, you will get the hang of it. And that's what it is. And it is a process that is continuous and infinite, as long as there is room for you to grow. If Elon Musk is still growing his businesses, probably you can do the same thing too. If you have no business, if I did it, you can do it too. And the good thing is I'm giving you my data. I'm giving you the most precious of my resources. It's my data. I believe that if my 9 years old had my data, will do better. Will do what I do. If my 15 years old had the data, it will do better. If I have the data, or let's say if Elon Musk, when he was 20, had the data now that he has now when he's 50, he will do better. And the same applies for everyone. And the thing is, not only age, because people say it's an old man's advice, etc. The richest man in Babylon even talks about it and says, you should not disrespect old men advice. I don't think that it's all about old man advice. Of course it is precious. But what would be better is old man data. Imagine if your grandfathers all had a spreadsheet following every decision they made. Business decision, relationship decisions, social decisions, financial decisions, family decisions, career decisions, all of it. They're tracking what they did, whatever it is, the stuff that they think it actually affects the results, and they're tracking the results, and they're going through the volume and going through the feedback processes, all in the spreadsheets. Don't you think you would be able to accurately describe that? Talk to me about generational information. That is something that was not possible 100 years ago. But it is possible now, so I'm not telling you to let your grandchildren. No, I'm just telling you to make this principle with yourself. Put it in the spreadsheet. So your knowledge, whatever comes here, whatever you do, you make sure that you're getting the most out of it. Not only the stuff that you get from then, but you're actually getting stuff later. And that's why I believe in repurposing content. This is a little bit of just an example, not just, but it's a big example that will show this. Content on social media, whatever, it does good even if you upload it again, especially for short form, okay? So if you repeat the content again, you get the content, you literally just re-upload it. It can do good, just like the first one, maybe less, but it can do good. The thing is, it can be replicated. So if you did it once, you spent all of your money, why not upload it again? If it gives you 1,000, 2,000 viewers, that's new eyeballs that you're getting without losing your resources. Whether that being your money you invested, the people that were with you, your time that you put there. So you just put it once and you get the most out of it. But if to get even more, you re-upload it again. Let alone the data you can collect from it. And this is what I'm saying for getting more for less, but not really that. It's like, what is the best 20% of what you do gives you the 80% of the results. In the 4-hour work week, he says that 95% of the results come from 5% of the effort. Sometimes it's not it's 10 to 90, sometimes it's a little bit less, sometimes it's a little bit more. But the point is, if there is 10% of the stuff that I do gives me 90% of the stuff that I get, I might as well make it a goal to make everything that I do based on what I did on that 10%. It's data. It's not as if I am some sort of a genius, because people always say this. They watch Paddy Galloway on YouTube and he says, this guy is a YouTube strategist genius because he found that this one thing. There is no such thing in real life. Real life, you put in volume, you analyze, you make decisions, you put in volume again. You do the same thing. And you go through this cycle. Now good, now you understand what's data, you understand what it is. And this is basically this is basically the principle to found a business, good business. Whether it's a business, so product-based, service-based, whatever, digital, doesn't matter. It's just the same principle. Makes the difference. So at first you have to do that, and that's why you see, because I mentioned the 4-hour work week, he also mentions that. He talks about testing products. So instead of just thinking about products, making it a reality, distribute it, then you're like, oh dude, it's not even selling. To not get into that and to get all of those losses, you might just as well test the product. You get the product, you make the Facebook ads, whatever, you spend ads money, and you see if people are actually buying. If they're buying, sure, this might work. It's more likely that it will work, but if nobody bought from you, so you might as well just not buy the stock and lose all of your money. This is known in e-commerce. This is known in all of this stuff, that whether it's drop shipping, e-commerce, whatever that. So I'm not an expert in that, so I'm not telling you from experience. I'm literally quoting from the book. And I see it as the same principle. It's just looking at the data, you just here have low risk data, which also you can do. And this is what I said with repurposing. I'm literally giving you the secrets that I have. I don't think that I should say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. When you repurpose your content, you're getting not only the results of there's few thousands of views, you're getting that is an additional with no cost, but more than that, you get free or low cost data. Because if a video worked, a good way to realize why it worked is to repurpose it again and see what people are commenting about. Does the video work again? Does it work on different platforms? And here I'm just giving you examples to give you a real life example because I know that's how I understand. If I see just something hypothetical, theories all the time, sure I can comprehend it, but give me the stories of experience. That's why I'm showing here my data as if it's a general book knowledge that you buy from the library. I'm giving my data for free to you to do this and to know this. So not only you will use your data, you're using my data to begin with. I'm giving you my data. This is not only that I just said, oh, this is what works, this is that what doesn't. I looked at the data and this is literally what the data says, not me. Analysis and do that. And here's one tip. Oh, this is big. If there is one thing that you have to do in order for you to make sure that you're always going on an up spiral, is this one thing. First you collect data, you analyze it, you make decisions, then you do this thing, trick. It's literally making AI help you. Once you finish the entire process, give all the data, pull it to AI, whether that being ChatGPT, whatever AI you prefer, and tell him, analyze this data that I have and make decisions for me and tell me why. The ChatGPT or AI will analyze it for you, will give you the decisions, and he will give you why. If it's the same thing as what you've got, awesome. If it is not, you will understand different aspects of your data, so you make sure of what you will gonna do next will be even more accurate than what you normally do. So instead of saying it will not take you time, it will take you 1 minute, 2 minutes, and the ROI that you potentially can get from it, actually not potentially, you will get from it. And another thing, you can just follow up another prompt and say what other changes that you want to do. Or you ask him, is this data metrics, so all the metrics that I used, are they the best metrics? If yes, tell me. If no, tell me what other metrics that I should add or what are the metrics that I should just delete. And tell me why. Just put this prompt into ChatGPT and it will literally change whatever it is you're working on, whether that be in content creation, college, or founding a business. It will make the entire process easier, better, more accurate, and as if you're hiring a VA assistant. People are always literally complaining about how it's so much work for them. So why not hire a VA assistant, a virtual assistant? You want a VA, okay, sure. Instead of paying money for it, you can just use it. VA is not a magic wand. It literally does the work. So does AI. So make sure that you use the work that AI can do instead of you wasting all the hours and days and weeks doing it yourself. There is no point whatsoever in doing something and spending time on it while ChatGPT can do it. Well, AI can do it, not necessarily ChatGPT, whether that being some niche AI or some general AI. If he can do it, use that leverage as a hire, as an employee, as a VA, and use it to reduce, not only buy back your time, not only double your ROI, not only get more accurate results, but all of those combined. And it's for free, and it's fast, and it's doable, and it's accessible 24 hours a week, 24/7, 7 days a week, and it never tires, it never sleeps, everything. So this stuff that you have to comprehend, because founding business is not something that you just magically get born with, or you're like, oh, founding a business, 2 months later, I'm gonna make millions. No, founding a business is one step. Now you have to think that it is one step. It's not another big, huge jump, and I'm riding a motorcycle, I'm gonna go off a cliff, whatever, and I have a parachute. It's not that. It's one step. And think that one step, it might sound, everything will look great. You see the process of an opportunity? It goes, the first is, probably you've heard this before. Alex Hormozi talks about this all the time. He says there's a few stages of every opportunity or a project. The first one is uninformed optimism. You think that this will crush and give you millions of dollars. Then you're like uninformed pessimism. You don't know why, but everything seems to be failing. Then you get to the valley of despair, where everybody gives up. There is no hope anymore. You're hopeless. You think that this will never happen. Everybody's telling you the same. If you keep up and you just don't be like, you know what, I screw it. I'm gonna use this other opportunity. The woman in the right dress, right from the Matrix movie. There is also informed optimism. Then you get to the results. But the only thing, you have to bear the process. This is why I'm just giving you real life reasons from different creators, from different books, from different data. I'm giving you my data to just make sure that you comprehend, you grab your hand around it, that the most important thing you do, the number one thing that I learned from 12 years of doing the same thing again and again is collecting data, analyzing data, and making decisions based on the data. Pro tip, then use the AI to help you and tell him to do the same thing, to make sure that your results are more accurate. And then what you do, you repeat the cycle. You go volume, you do this one thing. And look, as I promised, now you're able to found any business that you want the right way and to make it as you want it. I don't gatekeep. I'm giving you the data that I have. It's literally what you want. And I'm giving you a push. So now you have to give me the data. Doesn't that sound enough? Or at least give me a subscribe.